I turned 73 this year, and if there's one thing age has taught me, it's that peace is fragile. You don't lose it all at once. It slips away slowly, in small conversations, in things you thought were harmless to share, in moments where you opened your heart thinking it would bring you closer to the people you love. I used to believe that family should know everything about me. I thought honesty meant openness, full transparency, no filters. After all, these are the people you raised, the people you trusted your whole life. But I learned, not all at once, but through quiet regret, that there are some things better left unsaid, not because they're wrong or shameful, but because they carry consequences you don't see coming. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm just talking like I would if we were sitting across from each other in a quiet room, maybe with a cup of tea between us. And if you're somewhere past 70 like me, you probably understand what I mean when I say that life changes in ways no one prepares you for. You start valuing calm more than excitement, silence more than noise, and dignity more than approval. And sometimes, protecting those things means choosing your words more carefully than you ever did before. The first thing I wish I had kept to myself is my exact financial situation. I remember the day clearly. I sat my children down, thinking I was doing the responsible thing. I had everything organized, accounts, savings, investments, even a rough plan of what would go where someday. I thought it would ease their minds. I thought it would prevent confusion later. And to be fair, they listened. They nodded. They asked questions. But something shifted that day, and I didn't realize it until much later. It wasn't obvious at first. It started small. A comment here and there. Questions about why I was still living in the same house. Suggestions about what I should or shouldn't spend money on. Then came the subtle concern disguised as care. Maybe you shouldn't be traveling so much. Maybe you should save more for future care. Maybe it's time to think about downsizing. Every word came wrapped in love. But over time, it felt less like love and more like supervision. I went from being the one who made decisions to someone whose decisions were quietly being reviewed. And the hardest part wasn't that they were wrong. Some of their concerns were reasonable, but I began to feel like I had lost something I didn't even realize I was giving away: my independence. When people know the full picture of what you have, they start forming opinions about what you should do with it. And once those opinions are out there, they don't go away. You find yourself explaining things that never needed explanation, defending choices that were never meant to be debated. I'm not saying you shouldn't plan ahead. You absolutely should. Have your documents in order. Choose someone you trust to handle things if needed. But there's a difference between being prepared and opening every door. I learned that privacy, especially at this stage of life, isn't about hiding. It's about protecting your right to live on your own terms. The second thing, and this one surprised me, is sharing too much about my health. Now, at our age, our bodies speak up more often than they used to. A stiff back in the morning, a restless night, a little dizziness here and there. These things happen. And naturally, when you talk to your family, it feels normal to mention them. Just casual conversation, nothing serious. That's what I thought too. I remember mentioning once, very casually, that I'd been feeling a bit off balance the day before. Nothing dramatic, just a passing comment. But the reaction I got, it stayed with me. Suddenly, I was getting more phone calls, more check-ins, questions about whether I should still be driving as much, suggestions about seeing specialists. It all came from a place of care, I know that. But something changed in how they looked at me. It's hard to explain unless you felt it. It's like you go from being seen as capable to being seen as fragile. And once that image settles in someone's mind, it's very hard to undo. You start noticing the small things, the way they hesitate before asking you to do something, the way they offer help for things you've done on your own for years, the way their tone shifts, just slightly, as if they're talking to someone who might break. And the truth is, most of the time, those little health issues pass. They're part of aging, yes, but they don't define us. Still, When you share every ache and every discomfort, it starts to build a picture that may not reflect how you actually feel inside. You may feel strong, capable, still very much yourself, but others begin to see a version of you that needs managing. That's when I started asking myself a simple question before I spoke. Am I sharing this because it truly matters, or just because it happened? And more importantly, what will this create on the other side? Because once concern turns into overprotection, it can slowly take away the freedom you didn't realize you were risking. Now, don't misunderstand me. If something serious is going on, if you truly need support, you should absolutely speak up. There's no dignity in suffering alone when help is needed. But not every detail needs to be shared. Not every small discomfort needs an audience. Sometimes taking care of yourself quietly is the stronger choice. The third thing I learned the hard way is about getting involved in family conflicts. This one cost me more than I expected. When you're younger, you think your voice can fix things. You believe that with enough wisdom, enough experience, you can guide people toward resolution. And when it's your own family, that instinct becomes even stronger. I used to step in when I saw tension, a disagreement between my children, a misunderstanding between relatives, even small parenting choices that I thought could be handled better. I never raised my voice. I never forced my opinion. I thought I was being gentle, helpful, supportive, but I was wrong. What I didn't realize is that people don't just hear your words. They hear them through their own emotions. What feels like guidance to you can feel like judgment to them. What feels like fairness to you can feel like taking sides. And once that happens, you're no longer just an observer. You become part of the conflict. I remember one moment clearly. I made a simple suggestion, nothing more than a quiet comment about how something might be handled differently. I thought it would help. Instead, it created distance. Conversations became shorter, invitations less frequent. And I found myself wondering how something so small could lead to something so lasting. That's when I began to understand something I wish I had learned earlier. Not every situation needs your input. Not every problem is yours to solve. And sometimes, the most respectful thing you can do for the people you love is to let them figure things out on their own. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you trust them. It means you recognize that their lives, their choices, their mistakes belong to them. And more importantly, it means you protect your own peace by not stepping into storms that were never yours to weather. At this stage in life, peace is not something you can take for granted. It's something you guard quietly, carefully, with intention. And sometimes, the way you protect it is simply by saying less. And as I started to step back from those situations, something inside me grew quieter, in a good way. I didn't feel the same pressure to fix things anymore. I didn't carry other people's emotions home with me at night. I could still love them, still be present, but without being pulled into every disagreement. That was a kind of freedom I hadn't known I was missing. Now, the fourth thing I wish I had been more careful about is sharing my regrets. At our age, we all have them. Anyone who says they don't is either forgetting or not being honest with themselves. Life doesn't go exactly the way we planned. There are opportunities we didn't take, risks we were too afraid to make, moments we wish we had handled differently. These thoughts come and go, especially in quieter moments. And sometimes, without even thinking much about it, we say them out loud. I remember sitting with my daughter one afternoon. We were just talking, nothing heavy. And I said something like, I sometimes wonder what life would have been like if I had taken that job overseas when I was younger. I didn't mean anything by it. It was just a passing thought, a reflection, nothing more. But the room changed. She didn't say much at first, but later she told me that hearing that made her feel like maybe the life I had, raising a family, being there all those years, was somehow not enough for me. That maybe I had wanted something else more than what we had. And hearing that, it stayed with me. That was never my intention, not even close. I was proud of the life we built. I still am. But I learned something important in that moment. When we talk about our regrets, we're speaking from our own perspective, but the people we love often hear it as a reflection on them. When you say you wish you had done things differently, they may hear that they were part of the wrong path. When you talk about what you missed, they may feel like they were the reason you missed it. And that's a heavy thing to place on someone, especially when you never meant to. There's also another side to it. The more you speak about the past with regret, the more people begin to see you as someone who is living back there instead of right here, right now. And that changes how they treat you. It changes the energy of your conversations. It can make everything feel a little heavier than it needs to be. So I didn't stop reflecting. I still think about those things sometimes, but I changed how I hold them. Some thoughts are better kept quietly, not because they're painful, but because they're personal. I learned to turn regret into understanding instead of something I needed to share out loud. And when I do speak about the past, I try to speak about what it taught me, not what I wish I could undo. That small shift made a difference, not just for them, but for me too. It brought a kind of peace I didn't expect. And finally, the fifth thing. This one may sound practical, but it carries more weight than people realize. It's about your plans for what you leave behind. Your assets, your belongings, the details of who gets what. I used to think that being open about all of that was the responsible thing to do. I thought clarity would prevent problems later. I thought if everyone knew the plan, there would be no confusion, no conflict. But what I didn't see at the time is that sharing those details too early can change how people see you. I had a conversation once where I laid everything out. I explained how I wanted things divided, what would happen to the house, the savings, even a few personal items that meant something to me. It felt organized, thoughtful, even fair. But after that, something shifted. Not dramatically, not in a way anyone would openly admit, but I felt it. There were more questions, more opinions, subtle ones at first, suggestions about timing, about fairness, about what might be better. And underneath it all, there was something else, expectation, a quiet awareness that what I had would one day belong to someone else. And that awareness changes things. You start to feel like your choices are being watched, like the way you spend your time, your money, even your energy, is somehow connected to a future that others are already thinking about. It's a strange feeling, realizing that parts of your life are being measured against something that hasn't even happened yet. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a plan. You absolutely should. Have it written clearly. Make sure it's legal, organized, and in the hands of someone you trust when the time comes. That's responsible. That's wise. But you don't need to turn your life into an open discussion about it. You don't need to explain every detail while you're still here, still living, still making your own choices. Because the truth is, once those conversations begin, they're very hard to close. And more importantly, they can take away something you deserve to keep. The freedom to live your life without feeling like you're being quietly evaluated. At the end of the day, what you leave behind is not just about money or property. It's about how you lived, how you treated people, the way you carried yourself through the years. That's what stays with people long after everything else is sorted out. So, when I look back now at the things I shared too freely, I don't feel shame, but I do feel a kind of understanding I didn't have before. I see how those moments, small as they seemed, created ripples I didn't intend. And if I could go back, I wouldn't close myself off from my family, not at all. I would just be more careful, more thoughtful about what I share, when I share it, and why. Because at this stage in life, peace isn't something that just happens. It's something you protect, quietly, gently, choice by choice. You've spent a lifetime giving to others, your time, your energy, your support, your guidance, and that's a beautiful thing. But now it's also time to give something to yourself, a little more space, a little more privacy, a little more peace. Not everything needs to be explained. Not everything needs to be shared. Some things are not secrets. They're simply yours. And there's nothing wrong with keeping them that way. If you've been listening to me this far, I appreciate you more than you know. These are not easy things to talk about, but they matter. And if even one part of this helped you see your own life a little more clearly, then this time we spent together was worth it. Thank you for being here with me. Take care of yourself, take care of your peace, and I'll see you again soon.